Yeah, what up? My name is Chijindu, Exposure Mercy Magazine. So there was a time when I used to be so irresponsible. You understand? I used to blame everybody but myself for what I was experiencing. You understand? I was poor, I was depressed, and I had a bad attitude. You understand? But I refused to take responsibility for my condition. You understand? So I kept on suffering. I kept on going through downtime until I decided one day that this attitude, this mindset was not changing anything in my life. It wasn't changing my condition. You understand? I hated my job, but I kept going to the job. I kept blaming the job for the way I was feeling. And I refused to blame myself for keep on going to the job when I know I hated it. You understand? So I would always blame the customer for shouting at me. I would always blame the weather for the way it was. I would always blame the day for being bad. You understand? I never blamed myself for not being strong enough to handle the bad times and the good times. You understand? Until one day I decided that no, I was not going to blame our external forces no more. That I was going to take all the blame. I was going to give myself all the power. And that was the beginning of my redemption. Taking back all the power from external forces and decided that yes, I was going to be free because I was tired of my situation and my attitude, my framework was not serving me. And that's the framework that most people in this country has and most people in the world has. You understand? The attitude of irresponsibility, of blaming external force for their condition and not blaming themselves. They blame everything external, but the one thing they do not blame is themselves. You understand? So the moment I decided that since that attitude wasn't paying any dividends, I was going to blame myself for all that I was going through. You understand? I was going to start to take on responsibility for my condition. You understand? Then I started making efforts to start to change things. That was me taking back the power. You understand? I was no longer being offended by people's actions because I know that you weren't the one who was at fault, that I was at fault for being weak. You understand? Then I had the unction, let's call it, I don't know what they call it. I had the unction to exercise, to begin to train my mind, to begin to train myself physically, to become strong, in order for me to be able to handle the stresses and the situations that I was facing, in order for me to become wealthy and not have to worry about the price of things in the shop no more. You understand? In order for me to be able to stand crisis and conflict and fight without worrying. So that has been the journey that I have been for almost like 3 years now. You understand? And that change of heart, that decision to take responsibility, to take all the blame for what I am experiencing, it has been the path to life for me, has been the path to heaven for me. Taking back all the power, that I can become wealthy, that I can become poor, that it was all in my hand, it was all in my power. You understand? That I was the fault of whatever I am going through. You understand? So that's just it, man. The change of that attitude, the change of that mindset has been the point of redemption for me. So that's just it, man. Till today, I keep on blaming myself. I refuse to blame the weather. You understand? I refuse to blame the weather for my empty pockets. You understand? I choose to blame myself. When I blame myself, then I'm able to think. When I take responsibility, then I have the unction to think of buying raincoats to go out in the rain and sell. You understand? But when I think that it is the weather that is causing me to be poor, I will just be miserable and inside the house cursing the weather. You understand? Looking for a way to air my anger and never going nowhere because nobody cares. Nobody's going to listen. You understand? So that's just the deal, man. My name remains Chijindu, Exposure Mercy Magazine. Keep up and be strong, man. One love.